I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeff.
Welcome to episode 76 of Fresh and Uncooked, the podcast where Jeff and I talk about fast food, new menu items and products, cooking at home, and what we love to eat. This episode is all about what, Jeff?
It's all about pork.
So sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy episode 76 of the most appetizing food podcast ever.
Fresh and Uncooked.
Boy, Jeff, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the world of pork.
Yes, indeed. What our three favorite pork items are.
Okay.
So if you'd like, I'm going to start off with that. I think any type of pork sausage is the way to go.
Yeah, but what kind of pork sausage, Jeff? There's like 20 of them.
It could be breakfast sausage. It could be Italian sausage. Basically, sausage in any form. If it's pork, I feel that it's better.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I suppose if you threw all the sausages into one thing, it's got to be in anyone's top three, I think.
Yeah, even a pork chorizo sausage.
Sure.
Had that for breakfast this morning, by the way. It was delicious.
Oh, nice. It kind of sounds like cliche, but I think you got to put bacon in the top three.
Very cliche. I think that's a very popular opinion. I think when people think of pork, bacon is the thing that
Bacon's got to be, yeah.
See, for me, maybe like pork belly. I might like pork belly more than I like actual bacon.
Boy, another sausage in there. I would probably have sausages twice in my top three.
Oh, yeah.
But actually, I'm going to say pork tenderloin.
Pork tenderloin is solid.
Just because of its versatility.
And what would be your favorite way to have pork tenderloin?
I actually make tacos with pork tenderloin.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, because it cooks up so quick. Like if you just want to throw together tacos, chop it up, fry it up really quick with some seasonings, and you're good. If you want to build a little bit deeper flavor taco, if you're going authentic Mexican food or Spanish style food, you can just stick that whole thing whole and put it, in the sauce that you're kind of building up for a few hours. So,
okay,
just some adobo and tacos, and some tortillas, some limes, some pork tacos.
That's a good way to go.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever make pork tenderloin specifically for tacos. Now, if I have leftovers, they'll end up as tacos at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I just like putting a pork tenderloin on the grill.
It's a good way to go.
There is something about the way that pork absorbs that smoke that I think it really can't be replicated by any other type of meat.
Yeah, it does lend itself to cooking on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Live fire very well. Barbecue and pork and grilling, ribs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the ultimate barbecue pork.
Pork ribs over beef ribs.
Oh, in the rib category?
Yes.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Definitely feel the same way.
Personally, me, baby back over spare.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing wrong with spare ribs.
No, not at all.
And of course, pulled pork would be the other classic barbecue dish.
I think we've talked about that before on some of our barbecue episodes.
Plenty of times.
How pulled pork is just like one of our favorites.
And it's something that you usually do have leftovers because
yes,
pork shoulder is not exactly small.
No.
And people think pork butt. It's not actually the butt of the pig. It's the shoulder.
Yeah.
Kind of goofy how they name it that way. But I actually just had, for dinner before the podcast, Jeff, I had a pulled pork burrito.
Oh, really?
That I made from leftover pulled pork. Had a bunch of it. Did nachos one night. Of course, had pulled pork sandwiches. But it comes to a point, it's like, okay, you either got to do something with this and freeze it or toss out a lot of good meat. And I just decided to make like 8 burritos.
Okay.
Roll them up, throw them in the freezer. So I had one tonight since we were talking pork.
Nice.
Pork that I'm not crazy about, Jeff. What do you think of pork chops? Just a standard good old pork chop.
You know what? I think I have a pretty good grasp of how to make a good pork chop. I know that pork chops sometimes they turn out a little bit dry.
Yeah.
I'm more about like a bone-in pork chop than I would be just like a pork chop, I guess, kind of butchered and not boneless. But yeah, I like pork chops every once in a while.
Grilled, breaded.
Grilled. I always go grilled. Yeah, not too much of a breaded pork chop fan. Although,
Sandwich.
yeah, pork chop sandwich from like
Breaded
Maxwell Street. Oh, those are delicious.
Yeah, I have not had a good pork chop sandwich, but I've also never had one from Maxwell Street, so maybe that's why. But I'm just not crazy about pork chops, so I haven't exactly tried a whole lot of pork chop sandwiches. But
okay,
but definitely the bone in, because that is going to make it juicier. Anything with the bone in while you're cooking it just helps.
Yeah,
you know. Another thing on the not so crazy pork list for me, Jeff. What do you think of just ham?
Ooh. So you don't like ham? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not crazy about it. I'll every now and then a ham sandwich, but it's got to be like super thin slices of ham.
Mm-hmm.
Easter or something, you know, like a good spiral sliced ham. I'll have a piece or two, and you know, maybe in an omelet, it's all right. But I just don't go crazy over it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say ham is my favorite, but a good ham is good. I hope that makes more sense.
Good ham is good.
Yeah, I like a good honey ham.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's just like a regular, just imported ham or whatever, you can kind of keep that. But like a good honey ham is always good to go. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and I'm talking more like ham is like as like an old school holiday meat. You know, not prosciutto or, you know, the many different forms of hams out there. Serrano ham, like a Spanish ham. Those are delicious, of course. But yeah, just a ham, like an Easter ham. I'm fine if I don't have ham again until next Easter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it has to be prepared right. I think that's the thing. Maybe you just haven't had a good ham yet, Chris. That could be it.
Oh, I've had good hams. Yeah, I've had good hams and I've had bad hams.
All right.
And yes, I want the good ham.
But even the good ham doesn't have you
it's not
wanting more.
Yeah. I'm not I'm never craving ham, period.
All right.
Yeah.
So that ham bone maybe that you get from that Easter ham or whatever, are you wanting to save that and make some different stews, soups, or what have you? Maybe a nice split pea and ham?
No, not a split pea.
No?
Not a pea. No, definitely nothing with peas involved. I would, but I've never actually have. Not with a ham bone. Yeah. Never done anything with the ham bone. Like greens, right? That's a good way to do greens.
That's one way you can
ham
do
bone,
it. Yeah.
Or is that more like a ham hock?
Ham hocks work a lot better. That smoked ham hock just kind of helps with that bitterness that greens actually have. But another way that I use like a ham bone or would use a ham bone is with northern beans, like white beans. Making like a stew with that is next level awesome.
Now, would you have pieces of ham in there too, or are you just using the bone as part of the flavor?
It would be the bone as part of the flavor, and then hopefully there's enough ham that's kind of left over on that bone that just falls in there too.
Okay.
But that is a really
like
good, it's a good hearty winter type thing.
Yeah. Soup season.
Yeah. A little bit more like stew, I think,
stew season,
but
right.
But yeah, that you mentioned the ham hock. I like ham hocks. That's my preferred way to cook collard greens. Sometimes even salt pork is good. I don't know if you ever had like salt pork and cabbage.
I have not.
All right.
I have not, but don't have a whole lot of experience with the salt pork though.
Okay.
Or ham hocks or ham bones.
Yeah.
Something that rhymes with ham. Spam.
Oh yeah.
You know my thoughts on spam.
Yeah, you don't think very highly of spam really at all.
No, but I know you like what do you like it with eggs? What's your favorite way to prepare spam?
So the spam salad. with the pasta, the mayonnaise, and the peas. A little bit of black pepper.
Oh man, that takes me back.
It's simple, but it is delicious.
Now you do peas?
I do peas, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my mom did peas in hers. Oh God. And
you don't like peas either.
I don't like peas either.
Okay.
But I think that's Spam salad is just nasty. But apparently my sister would make it, and we were talking about this the other day, and she does not use peas in her recipe.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't like peas either.
All right. Well, I mean, it's a good way to it's a good way to take care of that whole issue.
So when it comes to sausage, Jeff, I mean, there's so many to choose from. I don't think there's a bad pork sausage, or there probably is. I just don't know of it.
Yeah. One that contains peas, Chris.
Yeah, right. Italian sausage.
Yes.
Awesome. A Polish sausage.
Mm-hmm.
Another form of sausage. Bratwurst.
Yeah.
Smoked sausages galore.
Yeah.
A lot of those are beef too, though. Breakfast sausage.
Yes, sir.
Links, patties. How do you prefer the breakfast sausage?
I always go with the links. Yeah, links is the way to go.
I like the patties better, but links are fine too.
All right.
I kind of like my links well done.
Really?
Yeah. If they're links, they got to be well done.
All right.
Yeah. Chorizo. Pork chorizo.
Yeah. Chorizo's good.
Good stuff.
Now, there's a sandwich out there that highlights pork in a couple different ways, and it's one of my favorite sandwiches.
Really?
Yeah, the Cubano.
Ah, yes.
The Cubano sandwich is one of my absolute favorites. So good.
You even got mustard and a pickle, two of your favorite sandwich accessories.
Yeah, yeah.
And is it Swiss?
It is Swiss that they use.
Yeah.
Swiss, sometimes provolone too. I've seen it that way, but usually Swiss. And I'm not a super big Swiss cheese fan, but man, the Cubano is
a good sandwich. Yeah. I definitely like it when it's done, when it's pressed down real good, like it should be, and you know, toast it up.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But yeah, basically a little bit of a pork roast, pork meat in there, or I've seen even just a way to do leftover pulled pork again, and then layers of thinly sliced ham, mustard, pickle on a Cubano roll, pressed down panini style, toast it up. It's good. It's good. Swiss cheese.
That would have been a good way to prepare for this particular episode if I would have thought about it a little bit more to have that Cubano. But I think we'll revisit that sometime here this week.
Jeff's getting the grocery list together.
Oh, all the time. There's this one thing that I have every once in a while that is pork related, pork rinds.
There you go.
And I think we've talked about that in one of our snack episodes about pork rinds. Once in a while, if you get a good pork rind, there's nothing like it. But bad pork rinds, absolutely disgusting.
I have not had many pork rinds. I don't know if I would like them, or maybe I'm afraid I would like them too much.
Yeah.
It's just one of those snacks that's like, I don't know if I really just need to try that, you know?
Maybe once a year I have them. Maybe. It's probably better to say every 18 months.
Okay.
Every year and a half. I don't know how excited we are about pork. I know that we like pork, but is it something that like gets us excited? I think other than like a pulled pork sandwich, a really good pulled pork sandwich.
Pulled pork, smoking it myself, I don't know if it gets me excited just because, boy, does that take a long time.
It does.
So, you know, there's that. But yeah, ribs, couple hours, boom, some just magical things. Really good sausages definitely get me excited, especially tossing those on the grill, throwing those in a bun with some chopped onion.
I think it's easy to prepare. It's easier to prepare than other meats for sure.
Sausage?
Yeah, I mean, I think pork in general, right?
I don't know if it's necessarily easier to cook than other meats, but
I think that pork is more forgiving to prepare, right? With chicken has a very small window where it's, where it's done and then it just becomes dry.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing happens with beef too. You can overcook beef and then right away it's dry or what have you. I think pork is very, very forgiving, for lack of a better term.
And it depends on which cut of beef. You're talking chicken thighs, you can let those go, a little bit more, and they'll still be pretty juicy. It kind of depends on the fat too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of pork has a lot of fat, and a lot of parts of pork actually don't have a lot of fat, so it's still very tasty. My brother prepares a kuula pork, Hawaiian pork, using the pork shoulder. And he always does it during a luau party that he has every summer.
Okay.
It is very delicious. Roasted in the oven, but it's wrapped in banana leaves.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sweet, fall apart, smoky pork.
Okay.
And just on a little Hawaiian bun, and that pork, so good. And he also does like a mustard pork too, which is really just different forms of pulled pork, but I couldn't it's making my mouth water. I couldn't talk about a pork pork episode without mentioning the kuula pork.
Now see, those are the porks that you can get very excited about.
Yes. And I will be, because I know I'm having it in like a few weeks. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a pig roast. Have you ever been to a full pig roast?
Not a pig roast, but I would be interested. You want to go in halves and do one?
Man, I haven't been to one in quite a while. And with
leftovers.
With inflation the way that it is, I don't even know how much that would cost like about now.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah. But it is. I mean, it's a lot of great meat. It's a long process though, too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All day, all night.
Yeah. You would have to hire someone to do it. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah. I would not attempt to do that. You definitely need to call in the professionals there. Mm-hmm. Spending that amount of money. Let us know in the comments what your favorite way to enjoy the many, many options of pork. Jeff, probably we didn't even cover them all, I bet. But
no. And the one thing we ask is that you don't be a ham. Don't be a ham about it.
Jeff, where can everybody find you and your humor on social media?
It's Jeff_on air on all platforms.
You can find me on TikTok and YouTube, cooking with Chris_YT. You can also check out the links to the Fresh and On Cook socials in the show notes and description. Jeff, until next time.
Enjoy what you eat.